Hey friends, it's Jeannie, and today I am sharing Trinity Stamps' January release along with some card samples. Last time I did a similar video and people seemed to enjoy it, so I decided to do it again. I'll have everything linked down below in the description box in case you're interested in any of these items. In the January release, there are 6 total stamp sets. The first one is a 3x4 stamp set called Joyful Heart, which has this little gnome holding a heart. I created this A2 card, which actually lights up. It's part of Trinity Stamps Instagram Hop today, so stop on by if you want a chance to win a prize from the shop. The next stamp set is called Falling for You. It is a 4x4 stamp set of a gnome on top of a bunch of hearts, and you can use this after Valentine's Day as well. It is a large enough image to fill up almost the entire A2 card panel. I did some no line coloring for this one. The next set is called There's Gnome One Like You. It's a 4x4 stamp set. I decided to use him in this frameless shaker card that has him floating in the air. I thought it was really adorable and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. Next is called Sending Smooches, which is also a 4x4 stamp set. Because he has a bow and arrow, I decided to use a target background because it goes along with that arrow. The next stamp set is a 4x6 stamp set called Best Place to Be, which features this gnome couple along with some florals, a bird, and a bee. I used almost everything on this Slimline card for this little scene, and I think they are so cute together. The only Slimline stamp in this January release is this one called Beary Special Slimline, and it is filled with a ton of bears. I stamped it on a Slimline card panel as well as an A2 card panel. For the A2 card panel, I did a bit of masking to achieve that look, but it is very possible to use it to create that. So that is it for the stamp sets in this January release. It is filled with gnomes, but they are so adorable and cute, so I hope you enjoyed those. Next are the dies. This first one is called the Embossed Edge Circle Stack, which cuts a bunch of circles and has a very subtle embossing around the edge of the circle. I think you can sort of see it in the video, but it is very pretty in person. You can cut these circles apart or you can keep them together depending on what you want to do with them. But for this example, I just kept them together and cut out a bunch of thin frames. Next is the Embossed Edge Rectangle Stack, which is the same idea. I used it for this A2 card panel, and it's very subtle embossing on the edge of that rectangle. So I think it's really pretty. It adds a really nice detail to the shapes that you might use for your cards. Next, this has 2 dies, is the graham cracker alphabet, which I used for these custom sentiments on these 2 cards. It's very small and dainty and perfect to create any custom sentiments that you might need in your collection. The second die that's shown there is called the Intertwined Heart Die. I used it for this A2 card, and as you can see, it's very delicate, but you can use it for die inlay, or you can just place it on top of a piece of cardstock or vellum in this case. The next 2 dies are the Slimline Wide Heart Trio and the Slimline Tall Heart Trio. Depending on your preference, you could have a vertical or a horizontal die. I only have one card example using the Wide Heart Trio, but you can create little scenes, a shaker card, or as a background, and you can use them to cut the hearts that you can use for any other card you wish. Next, we have a few sentiment dies. The top one is called the Beary Special Sentiment, which coordinates with the Beary Special Slimline stamp. It contains the words sweet, special, are, wishing, missing, you, so, very much, and day. So there's quite a few words in it, and it's a delicate script that you can use for any card, Slimline or A2. Next, we have 2 Scripty sentiments, one of which is the Scripty Heart and Scripty Love. The Scripty Heart sentiment dies have the word sweet heart of gold, and the Scripty Love have sending my love, I and you. Next, we have the Slimline Sweetheart panel, which is a panel that cuts out a ton of hearts. So you can use the negative or the positive. I used both the negative and the positive for these 2 particular cards, and I thought that they were really pretty. It also cuts all those extra hearts if you want to use it as embellishments for another card as well. The only stencil set in this January release is called Bed of Roses. It is personally one of my favorite items from the release. It has 2 different layers. So the first layer will stencil the leaves, and then the second layer will stencil out all the little roses. And there are different shapes of the roses. There's large, medium, and small, and they're scattered among the stencil. It is 6 by 8, so you can use it for a slimline card or even make 2 A2 cards. Next, we have the 9 by 4 paper pack, and it's called Our Heart. On one side, we have all these different shapes of hearts with the negative and positive images. And then on the back side, you'll have a ton of hearts that are just the smaller hearts throughout the paper. So that is it for the paper pack. Lastly, we have a coordinating die for the You Rock stamp set that has been previously released. So this is just the stamp set that goes along with it. It was something that was requested, and so now it's included in the Trinity Stamps shop. That is it for all the items in the January release. Hopefully this video is helpful in letting you see all the items and the examples of how I use them so you can narrow down your wish list. Like I mentioned, we do have an Instagram hop going on, so if you're interested in seeing our team's inspiration, please stop by. I'll leave the link to the hop in my description box as well. Thanks for stopping by today, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye!